Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Guitar Souls podcast. I have no idea which number this is, but who really cares? You can read the description. I'm sure you'll get it. My name is Levi Clay. I am one of your hosts, and I'm here with my good friend, Mr. Mike McLaughlin. How's it going, buddy?
Yeah, 2020 is how it's going. How's it going for you?
2020 to the very extreme. We were hoping to have some really great news last week, and we were going to ease you into that this week, which is the Guitar Souls not only is going weekly, but we are making sure that we hit the deadline of getting you an episode live every Sunday. And usually the reason that we have to delay a podcast going up is because something's come up for Mike, something's got in the way. And as soon as I said we were going to do it regularly, suddenly I completely fuck everything up because my PC blew up. So for the last week, I have been building a new PC. And,
Yes.
Building PCs is fun, right?
Building PCs is really fun. Fixing PCs and making them work is not. We've done all right, to be fair.
No, true. Absolutely true. I'll be making it. Well, the stressful thing is I've not been able to make videos. I've been able to work. I've been able to do all the transcription side of things, fortunately, using my laptop. But actual, filming videos and stuff like that's just been an impossibility, and I feel awful for that. The last video I uploaded to my channel was a Guitar Souls video, so I need to make a bunch more videos, and I'll do a video on the process of like building a PC if that's of interest to anyone. Not advice on how to build a PC, more of a this is what I did, so the people that know what they're talking about can laugh at me. But in theory, I've got a super powerful monster of a machine. Now it's just endless months of trying to get things to work.
Well, you can use them as less of examples and more of warnings.
Yeah, absolutely. Warn people not to be like me. Anyway, fun fact for you. Did you know this show is brought to you by Ormsby Guitars? We want to thank Perry and the guys over at Ormsby for all of their support. It is very much appreciated. For those unfamiliar with Ormsby and what they do, they're wonderful guitars built by Perry out in Australia. And probably what they're most notable for in recent years is actually doing these runs of guitars that are actually built offshore and then brought into Australia for quality control and then sent on out. So if you head on over to ormsbyguitars.com and check out the pre-order section on their website, you can check out some of the upcoming runs, get involved for a very low price, and prepayment plans, payment over a series of months. Great way to get yourself a killer instrument and absolutely killer price. So as always, thank you so much for the support, guys. Check them out and let them know that we sent you. Anyway, on with the show. Okay, as always, massive thank you to our friends over at Ormsby Guitars. Please do go and check them out. Let them know that we sent you. So talking of, my life and being busy and all that, one of the things I like to do is look after my friends. So I decided I was going to look after my friends because I've been really busy with work. Why not treat your friends to a present? So I got Mike a little something. Mike, lift it up, hold it up.
The yellow box of doom. Now, I've got no idea what's in here, by the way, just for context. But I'll let Levi tell you more.
Yeah. So I ordered this little parcel for Mike, and it finally got here today. And I thought it would be fun to have him open this on the podcast.
All right. So this is what we've got. We've got this plastic, and we're gonna roll this up like this, and then the glitter's gonna go inside that. And we've got the good stuff, the lightweight stuff. Right. Well, look at it all go everywhere already. And then we're going to put it inside this. So there's the glitter there. This is all going to be inside there. And then when he opens it up, that's going to be taped to the hoodie. When he opens it up, that's going to explode it. Okay? So whatever you do, be there and record it. Do not be anywhere near him.
Mike, please do take it away.
Okay. For anyone who's watching, please don't get distressed. I know this is the first time you've seen a Glaswegian with a switchblade or a Stanley blade and you've not been cornered by them, but you'll be all right. I'm not going to stab anyone. Maybe myself by accident, but that would be a completely different thing.
Yeah. So
right.
For anyone listening,
I'm just trying to suss it out.
It's a big yellow box, and Mike is now taking a knife to it so he can open it up. I say it's a present for Mike. There's actually something in there for me as well, but I didn't want to open it, at the same time. I thought it would be much more fun to do it on the podcast because
so I can work out which one's mine and which one's yours.
Yeah, have you got any guess as to what might be in there, Mike?
Total random guess. Maybe merch?
Does the XXX on the side of the box give you any hints?
You did say that, and then I was like, oh, ha, ha, ha. And now that you've said that, I'm like, I really hope not.
Yeah. No, that wasn't.
It's not an inflatable version of Chris, is it? with the convenience vents, we'll call them.
I got Chris's dad to send you something. What does that say?
Happy birthday from Levi and the boys. Happy birthday.
I mean, I don't know why he assumed it was your birthday. I didn't say. I did just say I want to get Mike a present. I want to buy Mike a present.
All right then.
So go through the box. What have we got?
A nice hoodie, a lot of glitter. Jesus Christ, a lot of glitter. Thanks, Perry. You know what? Most of it's still in the packet, but look at this. Look, and it's all over my desk and my hand.
Perry, how could you?
You glitter bombed me. You bastard. Christ almighty, there's a lot of stuff in here. Oh, you cheeky bastard. Is this what I think it is?
I think it is, yeah.
Oh,
no, that's not what I think it is.
No, there's more.
We're just showing off merchandise that Ormsby offer, aren't we, really?
Oh, what's this bad boy? The toe cutter bridge? Is that a custom pickup?
It might be.
Cheeky. Fuck's sake. You're such a sook. Some nice leather straps. Oh my goodness.
This is really what I wanted to order. Because I'm obviously playing the Goliath all the time, and it's got that, material strap, and I thought we deserved nice leather straps. So premium leather strap.
Very nice, man. Thanks very much. Still more in the box, man. Christ. Quite a few care packs. Are we cleaning every guitar on earth? Well, thanks very much, big man. That's very kind of you.
To be fair, all I'd sorted out with the with the straps, and then Perry said to me, "Do you want me to put a glitter bomb in the box?" And I laughed. I laughed and said, "Sure, why not?" Right? And obviously, at this stage, our listeners have already seen the video of Perry putting that in there, because I will have put that in the show. And when he sent me that video, part of me laughed, but I also was like, "Oh, Matt, I didn't think he was being serious." Oh no, I don't know how I feel about this. I had to go and get advice from Haley on whether or not it would be ethically okay to glitter bomb a friend. You've got glitter.
For dramatic effect.
Yeah, because I know that if someone glitter bombed me in my studio, I would lose my fucking mind.
This is my workspace, and I'm going to be taking debt advice calls to help people out when they're stuck in debt. So anything I can get that cheers me up is probably good. So, that's very kind of you, big man. Thanks very much.
You're very welcome, sir. Very welcome, and I hope you enjoy it. And
thanks to Perry and guys for the glitter.
Yeah, I hope
everything else I'm not bothered about, but the glitter.
I hope you're pulling glitter out of your orifices for years to come.
You know what, man? This is really perfect because genuinely, recently I've been thinking I'd like more of the cleaning stuff for the care packs because Perry told me before he uses, I think it's the Speed Wax. No, it's not the Speed Wax. It's the best cleaner for his car.
Right.
And I was like, I wonder how nice that would look on my car because you spray a wee bit and it covers everything.
Yeah.
And I was also thinking I really need a decent strap to put on one of the guitars.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, there you go. I got you a decent strap, and evidently I got you a couple of decent straps, and I got me a strap. But you deserve it. You work hard. You work really hard, and most importantly, we are putting on a good show for people, and you're helping out make that happen. So you deserve it. Much love to you, Mike, and everybody else that watches the show. I'm sure they'll all wish you love on that. Anyway, shall we get on with the story?
Can you give me a second to shake some of this glitter off because genuinely I look as if I've fallen down. There's like a glitter waterfall on me. Why I poured it over my head, I don't know.
You look fantastic. You look absolutely fabulous.
For anybody watching. Oh my god. It is everywhere.
Yeah, fun times. I want to say sorry, but also at the same time it looks like it was totally.
I am Michael Jackson. Sorry.
Right, let's do a news story. We tend to talk about a lot of, I don't like business related things, lawsuit related things. Let's start the show by not doing that. Let's talk about some music. So,
yes,
couple of things. I've been listening to a band named Stardust.
Okay.
Which was, you listened to them when we were putting the PC together. It's that very strange kind of Symphony X meets Disney. progressive metal
With
band.
very good vocals.
You've all
Yep.
recommended them, and I thought, why not check them out? And I've listened to that album maybe 10 times, and that's a sign of a good recommendation. When you listen to something repeatedly that somebody else has recommended to you. So I would encourage everybody to go and check out Stardust. Now, I want to make mention that we have started a playlist, a YouTube playlist featuring all of the things that we talk about on the show. So there is a playlist that I will endeavour to remember to put somewhere in the comments. I'm sure
and we'll build on it.
Yvonne will tell me that I forgot to do it, and that will remind me to do it. But yeah, if you check that out, I'm going to include some Stardust on there, and of course things that we've looked at from previous shows. And if anybody can recommend any other things that you think should be on that list that I haven't put on there, please do let us know. So there's Stardust, but I also wanted to make mention of Jack Gardiner's new single. It is called Sky Blue Pink, and I have the
Featuring
whole
Owani.
album. It's fantastic.
Not to flex.
While I'm transcribing it. And I'm utterly speechless at how wonderful it is. So you'd also check this tune out, hadn't you?
Yes, Kieran sent me it, actually.
Yeah.
Before you sent me it, and I was like, this is fucking good.
Yeah, very. Jack's just ridiculously melodic. And
You know what?
Go on.
What I love about it, sorry, I keep interrupting you. What I love about it is the fact that Jack just does his own thing, and like there's bits in it that it just sounds so natural, and that's what I love about it, because you can tell it's all been real guitar takes.
Yeah.
There's no fucking about, certainly not being like mega studio edited or any of that shit. So I'm just sending some photos to the Ormsby chat, just saying thanks, Pez.
I totally know what you mean. Like, I don't want to say this as a widely it might be a widely held criticism that Jack has received over the last few years, but it's a baseless criticism, and that is lots of people saying that you've just stolen Matthias Asato's sound. Jack has been doing the thing that Jack does for as long as I've known him, and that was
As in the guy that does like the neo soul stuff.
yeah.
Jack's been playing for way longer than Matthias Asato's been on the scene
Yeah.
in terms of like being a known name.
Yeah, sure.
I remember hearing Jack Gardner's playing like back when Mayonnaise were basically a fresh company.
Yeah. Sorry
to interrupt.
it's an outlandish claim, because don't get me wrong, like Matthias Asato, incredible player. He's got a solo on the new Kiko record actually, and it's fantastic. Like Matthias Asato is one of the kind of shining lights of the new up and coming guitar player scene, and it's really unfortunate for Jack that ultimately he will always be in the shadow of that name, based purely on the fact that Matthias achieved worldwide recognition before Jack managed to. Jack's definitely got his own voice going on. I guess what I'm saying is, if you like Matthias Asato's sound, check out the Jack Gardner track. You will definitely enjoy it. Cool.
Yes, very much so. Very, very well played.
You look like you're ready for Christmas, mate.
I'm like overwhelmed by glitter, because at first I was like, I'll pour it over me, and I was like, holy shit, there's like 4 times more than I realised. And I'm no kidding, like this in here is just sparkly. And see, because the sun's coming in the window and I've got this light on, everywhere I look, something else is catching my eye like a magpie. but my hands especially, like, you'll not see it because the light's so strong, but look, there's like so much glitter in my hands, man.
Yeah, you're also massively overexposed now. This your camera's done some sort of auto detect thing, and you look even more lit up.
It's because the lights come in through the window.
Ah,
mate.
right, okay.
You want to wait 2 seconds? I'll move one of these divider boards and we can crack on back for that point.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, 2 seconds. Even my microphone's covered in glitter.
Okay, so we're back in the room. Right, let's do the video game story. Talk about The Last of Us Part 2. Well, for 2 reasons. One, for some reason, we always seem to, or at least I always force the conversation of video games into the show, just to let everybody know what I'm playing. I'm playing that Jedi Fallen Order, finally.
Is it good?
It is good. It is good. It's very good, actually. I would say it's very good. I was looking for that kind of Dark Souls-esque gameplay, and when I started the game, it certainly had that kind of David versus Goliath feel to it. Like I was in trouble when every single fight happened. There was a definite feeling of, oh shit, oh no,
I've done something wrong here.
There's a bug. I'm probably about to die, type thing. It does get much easier, much faster than you would maybe want it to. I'm now just running into boss fights, and like this will be fine, and they are fine. But it's a beautiful game. I enjoy the gameplay loop of it, and definitely recommend that one. What are you playing?
Just Warzone, really, if I'm being totally honest. Barely anything. I was also having a wee bit of fun last night playing Forza Horizon 4 and taking cars because I've got like 2.5 million credits in the game. For Forza Horizon 4 set in Edinburgh as well, by the way. So like
okay.
most of the roads, I'm like, I know where this is based on.
Yeah.
I know where this is based on, and like all the bits where you go into like Rannoch Drive and Rannoch Hills and all that, like I know where all of these are based on. But taking like cars and just making them silly powered, and then just like drifting them, like fuck it. I took a Ferrari Lusso, a GT4, I believe. Made it all-wheel drive. Gave it a 4.8 V10 twin turbo. Rated everything up, all the weight down, big wide tires, and it's like warp speed.
If that doesn't tell our fans something about you, it's that you've turned into a real car nerd.
Well, you know what? I saw a meme the other day, and I sent it to Nancy, and I was like, and I duly object. And it says you can either be a guy who's into cars, or you can make women come, and it's up to you what one you are. And I was like, how dare you, sir?
Think how effective you'd be if you weren't into cars, though. That'd probably be a health hazard.
You've seen the party cannon riffs. You know what these fingers can
Were
do.
you just showing off your technique there? I miss driving games.
Disgusting.
Actually, I have a steering wheel and everything,
You do?
and I really do enjoy playing driving games. But I don't really have a good setup for doing that at the moment. So that's a shame. But such is life. Okay, onto the gaming story. So, The Last of Us Part 2, the
This is quite a cool story, to be fair.
It's really funny because obviously I'm not going to say I'm heavily plugged into the gaming scene, but it's certainly an area that I have had a lot of interest in the past. So I still do follow a lot of journalists on Twitter and gaming related content creators on Twitter, and seeing so many of them draw attention to this news story and be like, this is just outrageous. Like, how can someone justify $2,300 for a guitar? Ha 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 ha! Idiots. So, if that didn't give you the basic gist of the story, The Last of Us Part 2 merchandise includes a $2,300 replica guitar. Right. Okay. Does that sound unreasonable to you?
When you read the story, no.
Yeah. My first thoughts when they said $2,300 replica guitar was, well, okay, is it just a cheap Chinese-made pile of shite? Because, all right, fair enough. If it's a cheap no-name brand acoustic guitar that they're trying to sell for $2,300, maybe that's a little bit over the top. But it's not, is it? It's a Taylor. Do you want to read the story?
I will indeed, yes. So The Last of Us, this is on IGN, by the way, for anyone that wants to look it up. Headline being, New Last of Us Part 2 merchandise includes a $2,300 or dollars, replica guitar. The Last of Us Part 2 will officially be released at midnight tonight, which was the 18th of June, so just about a week ago. And PlayStation has updated its official merchandise store with the new Last of Us 2 gear, including a $2,300 guitar. It's almost release day for The Last of Us Part 2, and there's new merch directly from PlayStation for you collectors out there looking for some swag to round out your Last of Us collection. PlayStation has always released stuff like t-shirts and mugs for its first-party games, but it looks like PlayStation has gone a little further to commemorate the new Naughty Dog game. The most expensive item on the PlayStation Gear store is a replica Taylor 314CE guitar designed to look exactly like the guitar Ellie uses in the game. If you think the $2,000 price tag is steep, you should be aware that non-collector Taylor guitars actually do cost almost that much. And they do. I think a 314CE retails at about $2,300. Yeah. Which is about, $1,800 over here? Something like that?
Yep.
Other new offerings include a Last of Us Part 2 Sherpa jacket, which looks quite nice, a faux leather journal, and figures from Nendoroid, Funko, and Tubbs. You can check out the full list of items on PlayStation's Gear Store. Yeah. The Last of Us Part 2 is a sequel, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
we'll leave that. I've not played the game. I've not even played the first one, but I've heard it's tremendous.
The first one is tremendous. The second one is definitely being criticised a lot more, but I think it's largely political. Many of the criticisms seem to be very political. Mm-hmm. Keep your politics out of our games type thing. Where
do people get the impression that arts and politics are ever separate?
Yeah, so obviously, like in the past, we've talked about this on the show, and I said how I don't like politics in my music. But actually, it's not that I don't. At the time, I'd absolutely tried to take the position that keep your politics out of music because it can be very polarizing. But actually, as I grow as a person and as I think more about this, I think it's very hard to keep your politics out of your art. And in this particular instance, like, try and make a game that's about the human experience without putting some of your worldview into it. You know what I mean? Like, it just seems like quite a silly thing to criticize someone for. So I'm looking forward to playing it. Eventually, I'll get around to playing it eventually. It would have been a priority for me, but I've got a backlog, longer than a long thing.
King Kong's finger.
King Kong's finger. Yeah, we'll go with that. Yeah. Probably won't be buying this guitar though. I don't imagine.
It looks nice, to be fair, man. I don't know if you've had it on screen, but
yeah, I've put it up.
Really, it's just like a nice tailor with a strange inlay. And then there's another version that's more like, rather than a single cut, it's like a full bodied.
Yeah.
It's not quite a parlour. What would that be? Is that a grand? With like a print on the front, and it's black, and then just like dot inlays, which again, it's not ugly.
It just seems
I wouldn't buy it, but I'm not a fan of the game franchise in the sense that I'm not super invested.
Yeah.
However, the other tailor, the Sunburst one that's just got the one inlay, that's just a nice tailor with an inlay.
There would need to be a solid kind of in-world justification for why this guitar exists to me. There's no real reason when designing this game that when they made the guitar, they needed to make it, unique. Why not just have a model that exists on the market? That inlay on the 3rd fret is unique to the world that this game is in. And The Last of Us Part 2 is set in a post-apocalyptic world. So is this implying that there's someone out there in this post-apocalyptic world that has taken up Lou Theory?
No, what they're implying is that you may as well get the guitar made just now so that in 3 months' time, when everything is post-apocalyptic, you've got it and you fit in.
Yeah, good.
Because that is what's going to happen. That is the rest of 2020, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
Civilization falls, society is divided, nature takes back over and reclaims its own land, hordes of angry looters pollute the world. Actually, you know what? I'm going to take that one back because that's going to easily be spun by somebody saying Black Lives Matter protesters are angry looters or whatever pish. We've done well on avoiding being political for the last couple of episodes, and I think we'll keep it on a roll for now. So,
so
I rescind my comment.
What you're essentially saying is that this continues the crossover of the real world and the Last of Us world, okay, fair enough. As just an aside, when I was watching the trailer for this game, it was really interesting to see the level of detail that visual artists for either film or game go to when it comes to having instruments in things now. Because back in the day, a guitar in an animated feature would have 4 strings on it and 16 frets, and none of the hand movements would look right. If you think back to like I don't know why this is the one that pops into my mind, but if you think of The Simpsons, where Lisa plays classical gas because Lenny says to her, "Hey, play classical gas," and she's just sat on the floor and she plays it, and her hands just go through the same 3 motions over and over. Like, okay, you expect that. She has 3 fingers. 3 fingers, yeah. She has 3 fingers. She's not going to be able to get it overly realistic. But when you look at modern stuff, like, they really are going to the effort of making that stuff as believable as possible. Not just with The Last of Us, and this is not a segue, but just an additional recommendation. I just recently watched the Pixar film Coco. Have you seen that?
No, I haven't seen that one actually. I don't think. Tell me about it.
Mike, watch it.
Tell me.
Absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. It's the Mexican themed kind of Day of the Dead, Mexican afterlife themed film.
Dios de los Muertos.
Yeah, of a little boy that ends up in the land of the dead, if you like, because of something that he does, and he needs to work his way back to the real world. And there's a lovely family drama surrounding it, and he is a musician, so there's a musical theme that runs through it, and there's lots of footage of him, especially early on, playing the guitar. And it's also, they do such a great job of everything he plays. Like, it didn't pull me out of the film because I watched what he was doing and it made sense. It was like, yeah, okay, what I can see him doing there versus what I can hear is the same thing. So good job. But fabulous film. Really, really emotional film.
That's Pixar over the back, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't know why I hadn't watched it, but I got around to it with Haley just recently and absolutely loved it.
You know what I'm going to say?
Go on.
What you've just described is essentially Undertale, except you missed all the fucking audio. The point in me recommending the game to you. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah. No, that's fair. Similar themes. Yeah. I know you're gonna freak out when I say I still didn't rate it. You're gonna say that's because of the music, but
No, I can see why you wouldn't. It's weird and clunky and not insular. It's a game that you're probably going to love or hate because it has so many wee daft nuances to it.
Yeah.
Like it's got its own style. I think it was actually like a spin-off of mods for some other game,
Right.
Star Quest or something. And I think it started as a mod for that and then became its own platform. If I remember correctly, I couldn't tell you what game it is. I never played the one it was based on. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
My point is that go back and play it and leave the audio on.
Speaking of, and I'm going to segue here, speaking of animations, do you remember what John Petrucci's first album was called?
I'm going to say suspended in animation.
It was called Suspended Animation. Speaking of
You know
John
what?
Petrucci and Suspended Animation, he's got a new album coming out.
Yes, he has, which is Chinese Democracy 2. That's what they've called it because it took 15 years to come here. Now, I'm only kidding. It's called Terminal Velocity,
Yeah.
which, you know what, is a much cooler name than Hands Without Shadows.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like you're getting the point of something being really fast, like as fast as it's going to get without it being horribly cheesy.
Yeah.
Saying that, I'm going to try and take a wee oath here, right? I solemnly swear, right hand up,
Glitter hand up.
the glitteriest hand in Britain. I solemnly swear, this right hand up just now, right, that I'm going to stop without provocation, at least slagging Michelangelo Batty all the time. Because we've done it quite a lot in the last couple of episodes, and I think some of it's been unwarranted.
Have you had people telling you off?
No, I made a snipe there and I was like, that sounded really bitchy. For a guy that's like renowned for being really nice in the music industry, it's hard going.
Yeah.
Anyway, John Petrucci's second solo album, nearly over in his own words, in terms of it's still being recorded 6 days ago, and it's called Terminal Velocity.
Yeah. You know what? I'm definitely more interested in this than I am a new Dream Theater album. I absolutely will check this out. I may have told this story on the podcast before, but I did some transcriptions in the past for John. Because, so the story goes, Andy James did the Lick Library, playing the style of John Petrucci type thing. And John Petrucci bought that DVD because he wanted to check it out. And there was some stuff in there that Andy was doing that John doesn't do. And John said to Andy, that was really cool. I like what you were doing there. Can you send me a tab of that?
You know the thing about that is, right, you can imagine just getting that email or whatever and being like,
Yeah.
just like, John Petrucci wants to know some of my licks.
Yeah.
Okay, then.
But the thing that's even cooler than that is he used the lick that Andy had done on the next Dream Theater album. So unbelievably cool.
You've mentioned that before, actually.
Yeah,
that's cool as fuck.
that is super cool. So I'm definitely interested to check that out. I do like John Petrucci. I'm not a massive fan on the Dream Theater writing style anymore. It's not that I don't like the writing. It's that I've just kind of how would I put it? Emotionally outgrown it, if that makes sense. It's just not where I am emotionally anymore to listen to that sort of genre. It's not that the music's beneath me. It doesn't grab me the way it used to.
That's fair.
But
Totally fair. I can listen to Megadeth and it doesn't grab me the same way it did before.
Sure. But I'm interested to see how he does in a kind of where the guitar is the focus of the music. Any additional quotes on there, or is that as far as the story goes?
The only thing they had that was described as a quote, other than just him just basically saying, in 2005 there was suspended animation, and now 15 years later the wait is nearly over. It's just a bit of hype, really. There's a clip in there. I've not listened to it, but I don't imagine you want to put it on there in case it causes any issues.
Yeah.
And then there's a quote from 2017, which isn't really relevant.
Oh, we'll see what happens.
Yes.
We'll check it out when it comes out. Yeah.
Is it ironic that an album called Terminal Velocity took 15 years to come out?
Potentially.
I feel like I'm like the sassiest man in Britain. Every time I move, I'm just glittering.
Yeah. Yeah, the most fabulous man in Britain. There's no denying that. Yeah.
Unintended. Look at my forearms, man, like this.
You look.
I look like I've been cling filmed.
Yeah. I was gonna say you look like you're covered in Vaseline, but yeah, it's just clear.
It's not Saturday.
It's funny actually because when Perry put in that video, I don't know how well it worked for you, but he showed me the glitter and he wrapped it in a plastic tube, and the idea was that when you opened the
jumper,
it would pop open. Did it pop open on you, or did it just sort of?
A lot of it spilled out inside the jumper, so when I opened the jumper, it was there, but it was also somewhere in the box.
Right.
So what I decided to do, because I didn't want to leave his in the lurch, especially not pair if he's went to all the effort of trying to glitter bomb me. I would just pour it over my head. And that's how I realised there was 4 times as much as I thought there was.
Yeah, you look absolutely fantastic. Okay, why don't we talk about Live Nation?
Or talk about a fucking downer, man. Jeez, oh.
Yeah.
That's like the unhappiest segue I've ever seen. Yes, Live Nation, yet again, fucking over musicians, shitting on the little man. I'm sure you're all surprised. Live Nation's new policy asks artists to take a pay cut and artists take the burden for cancelled shows in 2021. And this came out the same day as the Last of Us story, so 6 days ago. This was on Metal Injection, by the way, this was reported. As the music industry tries to get back on its feet, a new memo sent out by the world's largest concert promoter, Live Nation, is sending shockwaves to the music industry. We're fully aware of the significance of these changes, and we did not make these changes without serious consideration, Live Nation wrote in a memo, which was obtained by Rolling Stone. In recent months, Live Nation has furloughed at least 20% of its staff and unveiled a plan to cut costs by $600 million after already eliminating discretionary spending, hiring freezes and reduction in contractor uses, amongst other cuts in April. It sounds like they've made quite a considerable effort so far, but it then goes on to, among the cuts would be 20% smaller guarantees across the board promised to artists. If a show gets cancelled due to poor ticket sales, the artist would only get 25% of the guarantee as opposed to the full 100% that promoters are currently expected to pay. The most shocking is if an artist cancels a performance in breach of the contract, they would pay the promoter 2 times the artist fee, something that is unheard of in the music industry. I'm not reading the full memo because the rest of it's pretty much just like subject to change, everybody's getting fucked.
Yeah.
But Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah, I mean, my thing is always to play devil's advocate on this, but this is one of those ones where I'm really struggling to play the other side, but I'll do my best. I know there was definitely a mention in the terms of this somewhere that this is talking about festivals, not necessarily all gigs. Not that makes a huge difference. Does a 20% smaller guarantee, does that matter as much? Because you would, as the band, you would still expect to make the same amount of money in terms of the money you're making on top of the guarantee. It's just your upfront payment. Your kind of base rate is lower, if that makes sense.
Depends on the deal, because it might. I don't personally know of any bands that get a guarantee and a cut of ticket sales. I don't know what it's like at the size of festivals and whatever else. Maybe they do get more, but I've never heard any artists talking out about that. Mostly it's you agree a fee and that's it. That's what we're getting paid. You make your own money in merch and stuff. But again, you pay a cut for that if you're playing at festivals usually, because you'll have someone doing your merch for you.
Yeah, there are additional terms in their memo regarding that. And that's why it's just so hard to defend, because this is... certain things in there don't bother me massively. Like if a show gets cancelled due to poor ticket sales, the artist would only get 25% of the guarantee. Well, if you, as an artist, if you can't sell enough tickets to make a show viable, then why would you expect 100% of the guarantee? Why would you expect to have got a guarantee in the first place? How often do shows get cancelled due to poor ticket sales? You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure that's not a massively common thing.
Nah, I don't see that happening very often at all. 9 times out of 10 you get that it's actually the venue's getting upgraded or potentially moved to a smaller venue, never really cancellations.
Yeah.
The one that kicks me in the teeth is this: if you're in breach of the contract, you need to pay the promoter 2 times the artist fee. No.
Yeah, that's a weird one. That's a really weird one, because surely the fact that you're in breach of contract would deal with that anyway. If you're in breach of your contract, then the promoter would be able to get their compensation legally anyway, because you've breached the contract. Sort of adding that stipulation that if you breach a contract, you'll have to pay the promoter twice the fee. I just don't see, like, from Live Nation's perspective, why did that need to be introduced? Is this something that's widely spread? Does this happen all the time? Are artists constantly fucking over promoters by cancelling events in breach of contract? Like, I just don't see it. So to have included that seems very strange. Very, very strange.
What concerns me is that I would imagine a number of these will be just an argument of, well, that's in breach of contract and therefore you owe us money. I just think it's one of those ones that's has the potential to be used in grey area situations where we agreed you would play this gig, you're now in breach of contract, even if it's like a valid reason, and then fight it from that. Maybe I'm just being a bit hasty, but
I think you deserve to be skeptical on a situation like this because I'm the same. Like, I'm just looking. I can't see a reason for it other than it's. Well, let's be realistic. This is Live Nation covering their own asses, isn't it?
and trying to profit off bands that might have to cancel gigs.
And also maybe to give them some benefit of the doubt, maybe also to kind of encourage promoters to put shows on. Because as a promoter, there is a financial risk of putting a show on. If things blow up for you, I would imagine after this whole COVID situation calms down, promoters are going to be very wary about putting shows on for a while. So if this could encourage shows, then maybe it's not the worst thing in the world. But
how does
double the fee?
Being at risk of paying twice out what you're supposed to get back if the gig gets cancelled against whatever, like promote, or how does that encourage gigs? Surely you're only going to put gigs on that are 100% guaranteed to go ahead. That would diminish the amount of gigs that are going to go ahead then, surely.
Well, I think a lot of what's probably happened in this COVID situation is there have been promoters that were still willing to put shows on and they were still legally able to put shows on. The government was allowing them to put shows on or whatever, but the artist may have cancelled them.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean that last bit does seem ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. As an artist myself, I don't know if that would really worry me because my kind of way around that is don't be in breach of my contract. If I say that I'm going to perform a show, I perform a show type thing. Yeah,
but I think the problem here is that it's fucking COVID. Like, I just get an awful feeling this is going to be like one of those ones that's whipped out the bag when something happens that's genuinely completely out of everyone's control.
Yeah.
Like the act of God clause when it comes to insurance.
Yeah.
That kind of shit, you know what I mean? I just don't believe it's going to be used at face value or in good faith. But that's just, again, me reading between the lines. I don't think it's...
I like that skepticism because I do completely agree with you. I just also see or think that I've been a promoter myself in the past. And actually I'm working with a promoter at the moment about putting on that the London Guitar experience in
yes, that I will be
in November, right? That's been a huge burden on him to put that out. He's had to pay for the venues and everything, and if that gets cancelled now, or if I was to pull out because of whatever reason, I mean, I'd be in breach of my contract. Or if Tom Quayle pulled out, Jack Gardner pulled out, if anyone pulled out, that would essentially put him in, leave him on the hook for all of the financial responsibilities that he's had. I imagine after that happening to him once, maybe twice, maybe three times, because promoters are often booking multiple gigs, they will that kind of once bitten, twice shy type thing, be less inclined to put a gig on in 6 months' time. Maybe this is Live Nation doing their best to try and encourage people to put gigs on, but I definitely think they've gone a bit far with it. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. It's full of the old proverbs today.
I think they've just thrown the full house out.
Yeah.
Dicks. Anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
Speaking of ridiculous money.
Yeah.
Kurt Cobain's MTV Unplugged guitar sells for record $6 million. For a Martin wearing a magnetic pickup, 2 magnetic pickups, I believe, and an acoustic pickup, flung into it, and the controls in the wrong end for the way it's strung.
It's a fair amount more expensive than the Last of Us guitar.
Yes. I mean, it's definitely got more heritage and claim to being a more expensive guitar, but $6 million. I'll read the story. So this is on CNN. The guitar played by Nirvana frontman Kurt Cobain during his 1993 MTV Unplugged performance has sold for $6 million at auction. The 1959 Martin D18E guitar featured in Nirvana's famed New York show 5 months before Cobain's death by suicide at the age of 27 in 1994. It was 1959, Martin. See, when I think about that, it's heartbreaking that he drilled all these bits into it and had like the pickups and that mounted to it, but at the same time,
I respect people that are willing to modify their guitars, even if they're, guitars that you might deem to be valuable, because to them they're just a tool, and they want to use that tool in the best way possible for them, rather than preserve history. They want to make history. Yep,
that's Kurt Cobain on the back, I think, wasn't it? So Cobain customised the guitar, adding a Bartolini pickup to the sound hole, according to a statement from Julian's Auctions. He also decorated the hardshell case that is included in the lot with a flyer from Poison Idea's 1990 album Feel the Darkness. 3 baggage claim stubs are still stuck to the handle, the statement added. Bidding for the guitar started at $1 million, but quickly escalated with the instrument selling for $6,010,000. A figure Julian's auction said set a new world record for a guitar. The winning bid came from Australian businessman Peter Friedman, owner of Rode Microphones, who bid in person in Beverly Hills, PA Media News Agency reported.
Can we stop there?
Yes.
I've been seeing our friend, Mr. Megadeth, being absolutely lambasted for selling all those Megadeth guitars now.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't see it. I don't see why people are... This highlights why what he did was okay. He bought all of those guitars. People had an opportunity to play them. This guitar has been bought for $6 million, and it's now going to go in an Australian businessman's little guitar collection, never to be seen or heard of again. You know, and I think that's such a shame.
I mean, I can't imagine it was anywhere that anyone else could have played it beforehand, but I get what your point is, that Keith, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like Keith at Essex Sound Studios?
Essex Recording Studios, I'm sure.
Essex Recording Studios, sorry, Keith, I had a total brain fart there. Keith was great when he gave us information and obviously told us that all the guitars are there to play. Anyone that's running about the studio or even wants to pop down for a cup of tea and have a bash on this ridiculous collection we've got, come along. Yeah. So I get that people are pissed off the prices he's asking. It's quite a lot of money. But he also gave everybody the opportunity to go and play them.
Yeah.
And I would think the way he spoke is that he's happy to haggle. He's probably put the high prices up going, if I get lucky, somebody will just buy it. If I don't, somebody will buy it at a reasonable price.
Yeah. And as we said when we ran that story with him at the time, you know, the fact that he bought all of those guitars he didn't stop you from buying those guitars, you know. Keith Gannon buying those guitars wasn't the reason you didn't buy one of those guitars. You didn't buy one of those guitars because you couldn't afford one of those guitars. Nothing has changed. You still can't afford one of those guitars.
And now you're angry.
I just don't have that. I just don't feel angry at him because I know he's gone through a hard time with this whole pandemic situation, not being able to make any money for his business. So if he's now looking at his situation and going, well, I need to sell some of these things that I bought, who would expect him to buy these things and sell them for the same or less than he purchased them for? Ultimately, something is worth what somebody is willing to pay for it. I would never argue that Kurt Cobain's guitar is worth $6 million. If you asked me how much I thought it was worth, I probably would have said, you might sell it for $500,000, which even then seems a bit high for me, not personally interested in spending that amount of money. $6 million? Never would have guessed that. But that's what that instrument is worth. It was worth that to someone.
Actually, there's a really good follow-on for that. So Peter Friedman himself is quoted straight after. It's a big deal. I didn't even buy it for me. I paid for it, but I'm going to use it to highlight the plight of artists worldwide by touring it around, and then I'm going to sell it and use the dough for that as well later, he told PA. The musicians and artists have supported my family since the 60s. We've been in that game forever. So I've been very lucky with Rode and I've been able to give away lots of money, quite a few mil. Friedman said he had no limit on what he would have paid for the instrument, adding, I was going to get it. So you know what? If some good comes for it, good on you, big man. That's maybe a wee spin we didn't realise or didn't see coming.
Well, yeah, so I'd read the story and I thought it was worth bringing it up before because I can't really comment until it happens. You know, I want to see how this guitar is brought to people.
Yep. Fair.
Yeah, we'll see. I have no idea where I had to cut my voice there, but essentially what happened is my computer's a pile of shite. A very expensive pile of shite, but still a pile of shite nonetheless. So thanks, technology. You're the best.
Wah, wah.
Yeah, exactly. Should we do the last story then?
Let's do it then.
Okay.
So, I Believe in a Thing Called Love by The Darkness voted greatest song of the 21st century. This is on Classic Rock or Louder Sounds website.
It's not even the greatest song on that album.
True. But if it means that people will go back and listen to that album, then I'm all for it. So the Darkness classic, I Believe in a Thing Called Love, hailed as the greatest song of this century so far by classic rock readers. It feels as if the headline, the byline, and then the next line are all like the same thing. I Believe in a Thing Called Love, a hit for the Darkness in 2002, has topped a poll to discover the 100 greatest songs of the century so far. The poll was voted for by classic rock readers and is featured in issue 277 of the magazine, which is published tomorrow, which would have been yesterday.
Yeah.
Come, rejoice with us at the news of this most esteemed accolade bestowed upon us by classic rock, proclaimed the band. The new issue celebrates the 100 greatest songs of the century, and it seems that people have crowned I Believe in a Thing Called Love their #1 tune. Thanks to all who voted, a great honour indeed. That's nice. I Believe in a Thing Called Love beat out strong opposition from the likes of AC/DC's Rock and Roll Train, not even AC/DC's best song either.
No.
Alter Bridge Blackbird, good tune, and the Foo Fighters' Best of You to top the poll. And a playlist of all 100 songs is below. Over 60,000 votes were recorded.
Yeah, I don't even think that's the Foo Fighters' best song for this. And
Nah.
sample size isn't big enough, but also at the same time, we always make the point that lists like this are ridiculous anyway, because you can't have a best. But it is a good song.
But
go on.
As long as people go and listen to Permission to Land, it's okay.
Yeah, that is a great album. As I say, I don't even think that I Believe in a Thing Called Love is the best song on the album.
It's not. Love Is Only a Feeling is right up there.
Love Is Only a Feeling is a great song.
Black Shuck's amazing.
Yeah. Friday Night.
Friday Night's a fucking banger. You beat me to that one.
Yeah.
Get Your Hands Off My Woman is amazing.
Yeah.
Fucking, what else is there on there? Loving the Rocks with No Ice. The full album is just brilliant. I think Grown in Me is like the only tune that doesn't really do much for me. And that's because I totally overplayed it.
Is it Giving Up is the name of the... I think Giving Up is the name of the song on there that I think is the best song on that album.
Okay.
Which is that song about heroin.
Aye.
I dig that song.
It's getting harder and harder, giving up. Is that the right one?
No.
No, what am I singing?
I have no idea.
I'm sure that's another Darkness song. Oh, aye.
That's the one.
I can't go that high.
Yeah, I know. That is
maybe if I was
record.
like super fry vocals high, but otherwise it's not happening.
I'll have to go into the house and put that album on actually because I think it deserves it. I think it is a really, really good album.
I was down, dropped him off Blaney a couple of things. I got him an LP for his birthday. I got him Sting, 10 Summoners Tales, an album he'd never heard, which is crazy. And he showed me Permission to Land on vinyl. I need to stop doing that because I do that unintentionally, and people are going to be like, "Oh, it's a waste! It's a dog whistle."
We've got the proof. Right, so I am going to. I'm definitely not going to go through all 100 songs from this. I'm going to go from number 28. Yeah. How do I do this? Maybe if I list the name of the song and you tell me who recorded it?
Cool. I clicked the list off, so that's a great idea.
Yeah, okay. So in at number 28, I picked 28 because I'm really surprised that this song's on the list. Now, I love this song, and I know you love this song too. Just surprised that it appears on this list. I'm surprised anyone else loves this song. The song is called Better. Better.
Nickelback. You
love a Nickelback song, is that?
I don't love any songs by Nickelback. I'm guessing here.
No, it's Guns N' Roses from Chinese Democracy.
Right.
Better.
Right.
Great song. Yeah.
We were listening to that the other day.
I know.
Fixing your computer. Yeah. Fuck me. This is as bad as the One Hit Wonders.
Check My Brain.
Hey, that's Alice in Chains.
It is. God Is Dead.
Is this meant to be a metal or rock song?
Yeah.
If it's metal, it's Vader, God Is Dead, Hallelujah.
No.
God Is Dead, it's going to be something like Ghost or something, innit?
No, it's
Five Finger Death Punch.
Black Sabbath.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was the name of... Did they put an album out called God Is Dead? I know the single on it was called God Is Dead.
I don't know, man. I'm at the loop. I listen to too much death metal these days, and pop.
Okay, Joker and the Thief.
That's Stereophonics.
A Wolf Mother.
No, that's Wolf Mother. Sorry, I went to Bartend on the Thief.
The Ballad of John Henry.
Iron Maiden?
No, it's Joe Bonamassa.
Right.
Highway Tune.
Joe Bonamassa again?
Generic dad rock. No, Greta Van Fleet. How You Remind Me.
Did I mention them before? Nickelback.
You may have done. Love Bites, So Do I.
Pass.
That's Hailstorm. Love that tune. Supermassive Black Hole.
That's Muse.
That is. By the Way.
That is the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Good. Keep On Swinging.
My mum and dad at the weekend.
That's a band named Rival Sons. No idea.
I know the name, but I don't know the band.
Kiss This.
Also, my mum and dad at the weekend. You make this too easy, man.
No, that's the Struts. Life's a Bitch.
Pass. I'm not. I'm going to refrain from making further jokes.
Yeah, that's Motorhead. American Idiot.
Green Day.
Yeah.
How the fuck did I get Green Day and not fucking
I know.
Motorhead? Dick.
By the Sword. This is featuring Andrew Stockdale of Wolfmother.
Is that like Red Fang or somebody like that?
Slash. Diagnosis.
The Doctor.
I see what you did there. No, that'd be the wild parts. Electric Worry.
Is this going to be like a stoner rock or a doom band? Electric Worry. Mastodon?
It's Clutch.
Right.
I Guts to Get Paid.
Pass.
As is easy top. Okay, we're moving into the top 10. So at number 10 we have No One Knows.
That's Queens of the Stone Age, featuring Dave Grohl on drums.
Yeah. Blood Brothers.
Is that Papa Roach?
They did have a song called Blood Brothers, but no, this
They
is
did, and it had a great riff. It was in Tony Hawk's.
Yeah.
That's one of Nancy's favourite albums, and I slag her about it all the time, but that's also like a guilty pleasure for
it's
me.
a great album.
Because it reminds me of being that age and getting into rock and metal and being like, I love my dad, but I'm angsty.
Yeah.
Skateboarding.
No, so that's Iron Maiden. Cochise.
Audio Slave.
Good. Sliver.
That is fucking... Oh, I can see the band. Velvet Revolver.
Very good. Caravan.
The Doors.
No, it's Rush. Seven Nation Army.
I can already feel Nicky and Blaney been raging at me for no getting a Rush one. So with that Seven Nation Army?
Yeah.
White Stripes.
Best of You.
Foo Fighters.
Blackbird.
All Bridge.
Rock and Roll Train.
AC/DC.
Very good.
It's almost like I knew these ones.
And I Believe in a Thing Called Love.
My mum and dad at the weekend.
Yeah, so, I think there's some... All right, it's classic rock, isn't it? It's the classic rock readership that are going to pick these. I reckon the question I guess I would ask myself is will Ghost be on this list? Because to me, those guys are the perfect classic rock band.
Ghost and Perfect should not ever be in the same sentence, man.
I can't see them on there anywhere. Yeah, I saw a Dream Theater song on there, so... Mastodon's Curl of the Burl is on there.
Cool tune.
Yeah, definitely not a list that I would compile. What do you guys listening to the show think is the greatest or some of the greatest rock songs of the century so far? Please do let us know in that comment section.
What's yours? And I'll try and come up with one at the moment as well. Or just off the cuff, like the best rock song of the decade that you can think of.
It's just I'd have to think so hard. I'd have to put so much time into thinking about that.
I'm going to say Cockroach King by Haken, because every time it comes on I just want to sing the full song. I love it.
I could say that about like any Haken song.
Of course.
Yeah, no, I don't even know if I'd be comfortable answering that.
My Famed Disappearing Act. Thank you, Scientist. Another fucking banger.
Love that song. I probably wouldn't call it one of the greatest songs of the... Well, it's definitely not the greatest song of the century so far. Definitely one of my favourite songs. I love that song. I could maybe... No, I couldn't. Just saying the century is just so far. It's just so broad, isn't it? So it's not only. It's not even of the year. It's of the century. I want to say like a Casey Roberts song or an ACT song, but then am I just picking like a fringe band for the sake of picking a fringe band? Could I be fair and say, you know what? Why don't I say The Pretender by the Foo Fighters? It's not one of my favourite songs. I think it's a great rock song though. I think it's a wonderfully crafted rock song.
Rope by the Foo Fighters is also a fucking ridiculously good rock song. Just, we'll go back to something away for this. I've got one random to say to you, right?
Sure.
Andy Torrance sent me a message the other night, just randomly, right? Just talking about guitars with somebody, right? If money was no option, what 5 guitars would you have?
If money was no option, what 5
Literally, you
guitars
could
would
have any 5 guitars, any 5 that you can think of. It don't have to be celebrity guitars. They can just be any you fancy.
Well,
Well, I tell you what my list was
Yeah.
of just like guitars that like if just literally because if I had the money I would go out and buy them just as like I want to have these fuck you money,
Yeah.
right? I would have some form of custom shop Steph Carpenter 7 or 8 string telly. Probably that really cool metallic pink purple that he's got. A Mirage 6, an old ESP Mirage 6.
Mhm.
There's a green spalted top Ormsby telly shape with a Floyd that I think has got like a pale moon ebony fretboard or something. Zerico. It's fucking beautiful. I always see photos of it and I'm like, oh, I really wish I had that. That's number 3. Private stock PRS of some kind, maybe like a hollow body 2. There was a really
surprises
nice
me.
one. Well, I'm just like, fuck it. Like, it's just 5 guitars that I can buy. Money's no object. I've
Yeah.
played the hollow body. There was a couple in the shop when I worked in Magnum that were really nice.
Yeah.
Maybe instead of having the private stock or a hollow body to have like the Dusty Wearing signature, which is a Floyd Rose 24 frets, etc. And another one that's maybe a bit a strange one, but is a beautiful guitar. Mark Akubo's signature Kiesel. You seen that?
Yep.
Pink super strap with I think it's a
Yeah.
maple fretboard. That's the 5 off the top of my head that I was like, I would like to have those 5 guitars.
Yeah, okay, I can definitely answer some of that. I would like a 1953 Fender Telecaster. Not a 50. People are listening to me there and going, "Why not a 52?" That was the year the Tele came out. No, 53 Telecaster because Danny Gatton played a 53 Telecaster, so I'd love a 53 Telecaster. A 1968 Fender Paisley Telecaster. I would like a 68 Fender Paisley Telecaster. A 1957 Gibson Les Paul Gold Top. I'm very specific about the years, right? Those are the 3 that
You're picking a lot of old man guitars for a guy that plays modern guitars, you know what I mean?
I do like old man guitars, though, right?
Because you're an old man at heart.
Yeah. Other than also because let's be realistic, like I have a really nice collection of modern
You do,
guitars.
You're quite lucky.
Part of me wanted to say I'd like to get my Sir back from Mark Palmer, who has my old Sir. I'd love that guitar back. I'd like a lot of the guitars I'd want would be guitars that I sold that I wish I didn't sell. I just don't see the need for any modern guitars. I've got all of the dream modern guitars that you could possibly want. So all of these, harder to find, like pieces of history type things would be the things that I would lean towards having. Yeah.
Okay then, Scalpy boy. I would have Kurt Cobain's Martin D18. Sorry, I went
Yeah.
off on a tangent there.
Well,
Anyway,
no, it's
there you go,
a
Andy.
good question. It is a good question. I wonder. I mean,
He asked me this the other day, and I was like, "That'd be great. I think to ask you."
Yeah.
And then today he literally messaged me just saying, "I think the top 5 with money no options would be a good podcast question." I was like, "We're doing a podcast in about an hour," so and he just said, "I get the feeling you're already on this." And I was like, "Aye."
Yeah. I'd like my Ormsby hybrid guitar. That would be on my list.
Make it so.
Yeah. An old SG. Love old
And
SGs.
I love how you were like 56 gold top Les Paul. This specific neck volume has to be there, and it have this like fucking perfect guitar, and then just like an old SG.
Well, it would be what 60? Are they 64s? The ones I like.
Is that
the one
with the
the
vibrola
teardrop?
trim? The teardrop.
Hang on.
I'm interested to see what you've got here. Sorry, I've totally took us off the tangent at the end of this episode, but I just thought, for once, you could be the one that was on the back foot.
The 61. The one that has the scratch plate that's just, it's not a teardrop, but it just goes below the pickups. It's not the big
Yes,
the big meaty one.
and it's got the vibrola trim on it.
Yeah, I like those
Aye.
guitars. I think those are pretty fucking cool. So yeah,
Yes.
very cool.
I'm really surprised when I said the vibrola trim that was the right era, because I don't know anything about Gibson or Fender when it comes to eras except like, oh, that's old. Oh, that's not so old. You know what I mean? That's about the extent of what I would know.
Yeah. There we go. I think we have probably come to the end of the episode there. So, while I have you, This show has been brought to you by Ormsby Guitars. If you are unfamiliar with Ormsby and what they do, I would recommend you head on over to ormsbyguitars.com. Absolutely wonderful instruments made out of Australia by Perry Ormsby. You know, they focus on a lot of really interesting things, probably most notably the multi-scale thing. You can see a couple of them hanging behind my head. I am a big fan of the Goliath series. Having said that, I've also almost ordered myself a Hype over the years, and I think the thing that Ormsby do that, well, lots of companies have dabbled in, but they do a great job of it, is these runs of builds. You can go on their website now, check out the pre-order section of their website, and you will see a series of upcoming runs of guitar. You can get in on those with prepayment plans and really get yourself a nice, well-built instrument for an unbelievable price. So thanks to Ormsby Guitars for supporting the show. Go and check them out and let them know that we sent you. Thanks very much. And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Another episode of the Guitar Souls podcast comes to an end. I will get this up before Sunday, and then we won't have an episode for you this coming Sunday. But moving forward, our plan is to get you an episode every single Sunday. We can be a reliable people that you can rely on. Every Sunday, you can sit down with a hangover, or you can just sit with your family and enjoy the Guitar Souls, or maybe you can leave it to Monday morning when you commute to work. You can enjoy the Guitar Souls. We are people that you can rely on, because we rely on you guys, and the way we rely on you is by asking you to please go to our merch store, link in the description, and order yourself a lovely Guitar Souls t-shirt. I'm doing this like I'm wearing one. I'm not actually wearing a Guitar Souls t-shirt, unfortunately, but yeah, please do go and check out a Guitar Souls t-shirt. Go see our friends over at Ormsby, let them know that we sent you. Reach out to us on social media channels. Join up to my Discord. Link not in the description, but I'm sure you can find one if you look around hard enough for it. Any closing comments for the guys, Mike?
Yeah. Firstly, thank you, big man. It was really kind of you. Like, I'm kind of, every time you do something like this, I'm really taken aback. And I gave you a hard time for it the other day when I was talking to you about it. Like, please don't get me things. Just don't do it, because it makes it awkward. But it doesn't. It's really kind. Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome.
Thank you, Perry and the boys and Levi, for all the glitter too. The only thing that would have made this even funnier is if Finlay was here when I opened it. Look at all that glitter, Mike. And you know what, man? Like, the bit that's grown on me the most to looking through the stuff, man, is the hoodie, because I've been needing a new hoodie. And if I can have one where I can rep the brand at the same time, fucking mwah.
Well, I'm going to use this as a learning experience, not just for you, but for our good friend Yevor Arsenyev. When somebody offers you something in life pro tip, if somebody offers you something, just say thank you. Like, nobody is going to offer to give you something or do something for you unless they're willing to do that thing. Nobody does it because they feel like they have to. So I didn't buy Mike a present because I expect a present. I bought Mike a present because I've had a very busy month. Well, it was a busy month until I had to buy a new fucking PC. So yeah, I was feeling flush, and what better way to show your friends that they matter to you by thinking about them. And the same to Yevor. It would be a massive help to us, my friend. It would be a huge help to me, and it would make me feel good if you would just respond to my bloody email and let me send you some Guitar Souls merchandise, because I'll be completely honest with you, right? No fucker wants to buy it. No fucker wants to wear it. So the least I can do is send some to you so I can create the illusion that somebody wants to wear some. So please.
I was like a plea, a rant, and a sales pitch at the same time.
Yeah.
Yes, listen, you've done us a great service that we didn't know we needed or wanted until you did it, and you've been probably more consistent than us in terms of uploading stuff. So please take the good faith offer that Levi's put out on behalf of the Guitar Souls. We would like to give you some thank you for what you've done. If you're going to continue to say no, that's fine. But
no, it's not.
You should know that family of mine's come to holiday in Bulgaria quite a lot, and I will find where you stay and we'll just drop a merch drop at your door.
Yeah. And as I said to him, like, it means a lot to us because
no, for sure,
not just like what he's done, but we want other people that listen to the show to know that you all matter to us. And, you know, anyone that gets involved in that comment section, we're always reading them. We know who listens to the show. We get to know a lot of you guys through your continued interaction. So if you are a quiet listener, get involved in the comment section. We like enjoying getting to know you all a little bit better.
Absolutely. This is a community that's not really grown yet, and it's a community that I'm certainly keen to help expand. I know you are, Levi. And the more you can interact with us, the more we get comments back about videos and stuff, the content you're happy with, and the same the other way, then the better things are going to get, because you're going to get what you want out of episodes and in the episodes, and we're going to know that we're doing the right thing. Like, I'm enjoying the format we have, but if people are saying, I'd quite like you to cover this topic, what do you think about that? And then asking for our opinions, which we do get through Levi's Discord, to be fair.
Yep.
And the comments, not saying people don't, but the more we get that, the better we can do, and the more we can tailor it to what people want. I think that's basically why we've went from 2 weekly, big long episodes. Like, people probably like it in a more bite-sized chunks. We'll try it a weekly. What do you think? All the feedback's been astounding. 9 times out of 10 people have said, much prefer, or it doesn't bother me, but I like it bite size. And that's kind of spurred the conversation between Levi and I of, well, let's do it every Sunday. And then we're being more consistent for people who are enjoying the content. And a lot of people do reach out, and I appreciate it. I can't say thank you enough. I'm sorry if you send a message to me and I don't get back to you quickly, because like Levi, unfortunately, real life sometimes gets a bit complicated in our end.
Yeah.
But please don't take that personally if that is the case, or if you've got content or a topic you want to talk about, any of those things, message us, man. Like, and the same goes again from, I've said all the way through the podcast, I think, if you're having a hard time, things are bothering you, especially during COVID, because right now is probably the most difficult mental time for anybody on earth, except unless you are like Jeff Bezos, who just doesn't have to give a fuck, right? But even he will have mental health problems, just different ones for us. Reach out if you want somebody just to listen, if you want a bit of like advice, if you want just an ear, or eyes, I suppose, because it'll be Facebook probably, for you just to get something off your chest, fucking reach out. Like, we're here.
I just have to bring it back to reality. You mentioned Jeff Bezos there, because I saw something on Twitter recently that just, it made me chuckle and also go, what is the point in life anymore? I forget the exact figure, but it was something along the lines of, whilst Jeff Bezos's Beverly Hills apartment was being refurbished, he racked up $42,000 of parking fines out the front of his house. And I think this was retweeted by Chris Raygun, and he made the comment of, isn't it nice to know that you can reach a point in life where you're so rich that laws are merely suggestions?
It's very true. I mean, I don't know what Jeff Bezos makes when you break it down per minute, but I would think that his daily income is way more than the parking fines that you're talking about.
I think his daily income is probably more than you and I will earn in our lifetime.
It's definitely more than I'll earn in my lifetime. That's just fact. I think to go again just a wee bit besides, like, is his worth no something like $112 billion?
It's a lot of money.
I watched a video recently, I don't know if anyone else has seen it, it kind of went a wee bit viral, and it was someone trying to show you how big a number that is using grains of rice.
Right.
And each grain of rice counted for $100,000. So there's $100,000, there's a pile of $1 million, there's 10 million, and then they go up to $1 billion, and you see the guy counting it, and you're like, he's just counting rice, but that one bit of rice counts for $10,000 at a time. The numbers are fucking staggering.
Yeah.
And by that, I mean, Jeff Bezos said, you got to just sponsor us already. Come on to fuck, man.
Yeah, actually, to be fair, with Joe Rogan and his huge Spotify payoff, I'd take a nice little payoff to make the Guitar Souls go exclusive to Amazon Prime. I'd be all right with that.
I mean, only if really what we could do as part of that is anyone who's like a really fervent, supportive listener can sign up, and once they've listened to, I don't know, like 12 episodes, Jeff gets to send them a computer or something, so they've got like a constant line to us and stuff as well. Let's just rinse him for everything he's got. It's not like he's going to be fucking worried about it.
It's not like he'll ever notice. Right, let's end it. Mike, until next time.
Bye, fuckers.